You guys know that I am a gambling addict. You know my relationship with gambling, all right? Just to put it into perspective, I spent New Year's Eve alone gambling. Okay, to be clear, I mean I did hang out with friends later on during New Year's. But I'm ashamed to admit I did spend like a good 4 hours on New Year's just playing fucking blackjack on my PC. It's not addiction, it's dedication. But I'm also a very big fan of Drew Gooden. You guys might know, one of my favorite YouTubers. And he did this video called The Online Gambling Epidemic. I did watch it when it came out, but it's been a few months, and, you know, I feel like it'd be interesting from my gambling addict, dedicator perspective, to check it out and to see what the hell this is all about. And obviously, I am gonna joke a lot about how, 99% of gamblers quit right before they win big, and fucking, it's not addiction, it's dedication. But I do want to make it very clear that gambling is bad, all right? And it will, in 9 times out of 10, it will lead to a big loss in the end. Because you're not going to stop at that big win. You're going to keep chasing that high and then eventually lose it all. And then, once you've lost it all, you're like, well, shit, I have to earn all this money back. How am I going to do that? By gambling it all back. So, want to make that very clear. This is all jokes and, you know, it does get pretty serious. Anyway, let's watch this video.
A few months ago, to celebrate my friend's birthday, I went on a victory casino cruise. And not only did everyone get seasick almost immediately, but we also lost all the money we brought in to gamble with. It was one of the best days of my life. For a good portion of the past century, getting on a boat that reeks of piss and wobbling your way out just far enough into the ocean so that laws don't exist anymore was one of the only ways to legally gamble in the United States. It had such a convoluted barrier of entry that most people could go their entire lives without ever being tempted to do it. Just don't go to Nevada and you'll probably never see a casino. In 2024...
No, it's crazy. Like, now... Here in Denmark, I don't know how it is in other countries, but now here in Denmark, you literally, like, walk past a tiny little kiosk, or however the fuck you pronounce that, and you would just, like, there's just, like, sports betting plastered everywhere, and they literally have, like, they just call it a playing hall, where they just advertise, like, slot machines. Like, they literally have an entire, like, room or, like, entire section of the kiosk just dedicated to slots. That's crazy. It's like a little mini casino in there. In, like, a tiny little gas station or kiosk or something. It's crazy. This is just in a street in my city. They just have this little shop here. And it's just plastered a jackpot, and... these pictures are from July 2019. It's even worse now. You know? They just do lotto, which is like lottery stuff, odd set, fucking all of this shit. As you can see here, it's also just advertised everywhere. It's actually crazy. You just walk past the shop here on this random street, and this is how all the little shops are here in Denmark. Basically.
Smack me in the mouth with all of
If you watch any sports at all, ads for sports betting have become inescapable. Even if you muted every commercial and closed your eyes until the game came back on, it's still plastered.
No, even earlier today at work when the radio was on, every other minute there would just be another ad for some betting website. It's crazy. It's not called addiction, it's called dedication. See, you get
everywhere.
it.
DraftKings promos pop up in the middle of a play. There's BetMGM billboards behind home plate. FanDuel logos on the court, on the microphones. They come at you from every angle, pepper spraying you in the face so you don't notice they just pulled your...
Same. I'm just talking about like the radio work, because there I couldn't really escape it. But true. I also pay for premium. Look, I'm not proud to admit this fact, but YouTube is unusable without premium. It is unusable. The amount of ads are unfathomable. It's insane. And since they've cracked down on ad blockers, you also can't use an ad blocker on your phone, so it just becomes unbearable. Plus, I don't have Spotify premium either, so I'd listen to music on YouTube, and because my screen is so sensitive, whenever I'd have it in my pocket, it would just like start pressing shit and going out of the songs and all that stuff. and it's annoying not being able to navigate my phone while listening to music or watching a video. So I just decided, you know what? Fuck it. I'm paying for premium, you know? I'll get a 2-in-1 deal. I can finally listen to music without ads, and I can turn off my phone or navigate it while listening to the songs, and I'm no longer bothered by ads and shit like that. So I love my premium. The downloading Apple Music and no ads. See, it's goated. On top
Your
real.
pants down. They've made it so watching
Little expensive, but hey, gambling is able to pay it off.
sports and betting on sports are just two sides of the same coin. Like, you can't have one without the other. It's
Really like Apple Music. I can't use Spotify because ads, and was able to save money because I don't have to pay for Apple Music. You don't have to pay for it. Dope. But yeah, Spotify is also unusable without premium.
become so normalized that it might be easy to forget that gambling can be kind of bad, actually. About 10 million people in the US alone struggle with gambling in some way, a good portion of which are under the age of 25. Gambling addicts attempt suicide at a rate 15 times higher than the general population. The average debt of a gambling addict can range from $15,000 to...
Okay, sorry, I should not be laughing at this. It's not funny. It's just, I saw the average debt generated by a man addicted to gambling is between $55K and $90K dollars. Women gamblers average $15,000 of debt. Come on, women. Look, I don't mean to be sexist, but men are just better at this, all right? Women. Like, come on. Step up your fucking game, all right? Get your shit together, all right? Your parlays aren't high enough. You're not betting big enough. You have to bet big to win big. Okay, women? Come on. Like, high risk, high reward. All right? Stop being a pussy. Literally and figuratively, no balls.
$90,000. But where most people would see this as a problem, a few people saw it as an opportunity. All that extra money that could be siphoned from struggling families and into the pockets of
Such a bonus. I could never go back to basic YouTube. Same.
12
Never.
CEOs.
Look, it's pretty genius actually. That's how they also steal your money. Is, you know, once you pay for it, you can never go back to basic YouTube. You just can't. So you're forced to keep paying.
And we're not doing that because... So in 2018, the Supreme Court overruled the federal ban on sports betting. And since then, Americans have collectively lost over $245 billion.
Hell, women for not winning money.
That's almost $1,000 per person.
I love women, but that's a pretty rare L
the
from the women.
bombardment of playful advertising filled with famous celebrities would make you think it's just a harmless, fun game you can play on your phone. Kevin Hart, Post Malone, Chris Rock, LeBron James, Kevin Hart, Peyton Manning, Jamie Foxx, Eric Andre, Patton Oswalt, Vanessa Hudgens, the guy from that Kendrick Lamar song, Kevin Hart. Even the Talk Tua podcast is sponsored by Better. Why is it always the people you trust the most?
You don't need to know everything about every sport.
Good, because I don't.
Yeah, me either. All you need is a feeling and a phone.
Gosh, I want
That is such a
Did someone say
bold
LeBron
way
James?
to advertise your product.
Or like
You don't
that-
have
that
to
guy
know
from the
anything about
Kendrick
sports
Lamar
in order
song.
to bet on them. In fact, we would
Certified lover boys, certified pedophiles. Wow, 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 wow. Next time I do a karaoke stream, I should do that song. The full song with every word.
prefer you didn't. Look, this guy's just chilling in a hot tub. He doesn't even know what sport he bet on, and he won money. So go ahead, just open the app and start mashing buttons. I don't know, like, where do you think they got all the money to shell out to these celebrities? Could it be that maybe Prize Picks isn't the secret gateway to riches beyond my wildest imaginations, and maybe they're just trying to get my debit card number so they can take all my disposable income? Whether or not you think sports betting should be illegal, and I'm not even necessarily saying it should be, the fact that they're allowed to advertise it like this is fucking insane. Imagine a cigarette commercial that was like, "Oh my god, this tastes so good. This is the best I've ever felt in my life. I'm on top of the world." Typically, the only tobacco ads you see are like anti-vaping PSAs.
I have so many. If you share this reel, LeBron will impregnate you. Oh my, Jesus Christ! I regret reading
I
that.
hope there's a future where advertising for betting apps is regulated in a similar way. You can still bet on sports. You can still smoke cigarettes if you want to. It's not illegal, but you're not bombarded with the temptation to do.
It does feel like how alcohol is advertised. It's just like, I think I saw this in a comment. It was like, the way they advertise alcohol is always just like quietly whisper at the end, "Don't drink," or like little tiny text saying, like, "Please drink responsibly." But you're gonna have a great time if you drink. It's the whole essence of the ad.
Do it every time you turn on a basketball game. Even though it's only been 6 years since the federal ban on sportsbooks was overturned, technology has already evolved well beyond
Alcohol
what
is
was
based,
available at the
cigarettes
time.
aren't.
Now that
That's a base
gambling
take.
has gone from being in a place you have to go to do it to being accessible on your phone at any moment. There's nothing stopping these apps from trying
No, that's
to
why I made a no online gambling rule. Because that's how bad it's gotten. Or how bad it got. Look, only like occasionally on stream. But otherwise, I have like a no online gambling rule. Because it's so easy to forget, you know, just how easy it is. You just sign up for a website. You just have to confirm you're 18. Bada bing, bada boom. You can just throw all your money in. It's crazy. So now I only like gamble if I'm like at a casino when I'm traveling, which is not that often. It's usually like big cities where they actually have real casinos. So,
learn
you know what's based? Base taper fade.
you in constantly, and they're really good at doing that.
Addiction is intensified, he says, by how much the gambling companies know about each user. That data was used to tailor offers and push notifications to keep the guy in
They
action.
knew the life stage, the customer life stage it was at. So win back, they described it. So people that have given up gambling for a while and they're trying to get them to come back.
Just by using these apps, you're giving them data about your gambling habits, which they can then weaponize against you. If they realize around 2 p.m. every Sunday is when you're most likely to interact with the app because you're watching 19 games at once and you're starting to get a little restless, they can tailor make a push notification just for you. Maybe they'll boost the odds of a third.
That's so sweet that a gambling executive just, you know, cares about you that much that he wants to know about your interest, and then he'll be considerate of you and your time. How considerate.
quarter Tyreek Hill touchdown, or they'll show you a parlay that 50,000 other people have bet on, and that many people can't all be wrong. Let's talk about parlays for a second, because I think that's one of the biggest contributors to the exponential rise of sports betting.
It's parlay time.
Put simply, a parlay is when you combine multiple bets into one bet, significantly decreasing the odds of it hitting, but massively boosting the payout you'll win if it does. It's basically the difference between winning a few dollars for correctly calling one coin flip, or winning thousands of dollars if you can get that coin to
I do
land.
remember that, because I've never done like sports betting, really. Except for once. It was, my friend was like, hey, there's this guy I know. He can like hook you up with like some sports betting and stuff, and he'll just guide you through it, and then you'll win like 1,500 Danish kroner, which is like it's like a little over $200, I'm pretty sure. I was like, sounds skeptical, but sure. But I found out it was legit. Like the guy, like he will win most of the money. Like you place a bunch of bets, and then he would win like 10,000 kroner, something crazy, and then you would get like 1,500 of that. And he actually does like transfer the 10,000 over to your account. You just sign a contract saying, I will only use this money for the bets that are assigned here. But he does transfer it over, so I was like, this is legit. And so we went in and betted all on those sites. All right, I had no idea what the fuck I was doing, but we were betting on like sports games and stuff like that, and we're doing the parlay, so we'd, you know, combine a bunch of bets and then won. But it was like, shit, dude. I'm just playing with this dude's money. And I had to, he made an email for me, and I had to sign up for so many betting sites. It was such a long, complicated process. But finally, in the end, I won the money and everything was good. And then I played blackjack with it and lost it all.
And on heads 12 times in a row. You're so distracted by the possibility of how much you could win that you're not even considering the fact that you definitely won't. Parlays are the lottery ticket of sports betting, and these apps have made it so easy to make one whenever you want. The only thing stopping you from putting together a parlay that frankly doesn't even make sense is your own imagination. Because of parlays, I think for a lot of people, gambling has become death by 1,000 paper cuts. Maybe instead of losing a lot of money all at once, you're just losing a little bit of money all the time. Sometimes you'll even lose money in a way that feels like you almost won. 5 out of 6. I was so close. But that means I'll definitely win next time. My only personal experience with online sports betting was a couple years ago when I saw Underdog Fantasy was offering to match your first deposit up to $100.
Just take a loan, losers. Yeah. And then when you're in debt for that loan, just take another loan. And then it's just a continuous cycle until you die. They just aren't dedicated enough. Facts.
And I thought, okay, I'll give it a try. I watch a lot of football. Maybe I can finally make back some of the money I've spent over the years supporting my stupid, shitty team. So I put in $100. They doubled it. And slowly, over the course of the next 2 months, I lost $25 every week until it was all gone. Now, if I'm being honest, I think this was actually best case scenario for me. I consider myself lucky that the few times I've tried gambling, it hasn't gone well for me because I have no positive association with it. In the same way that I have no desire to smoke cigarettes because the first time I did, I smoked 2 back-to-back for some reason and was nauseous the rest of the night. I have no desire to gamble because I've only ever lost money doing it. So even though
yeah, that's how they get you hooked. Is they'll lure you in with a big bonus. It's like if you sign up now and do your first cash in, we will give you like $100 extra to play with. Then you play with that, you win, and then you try to chase that high again and again and again. Because even then, like, studies have also shown that from gambling, it's not the winning that's like the exciting part that gets you like thrilled and gets the dopamine receptors running. It's actually the anticipation of, am I gonna win or am I not gonna win? So technically, just don't place the bets because that's where you'll get most excited. And like genuinely, again, I know I like to joke about this stuff a lot, but I gamble myself. I'm very transparent about that. But I also want to make it clear that you should not gamble. If you do, at least set limits and do it responsibly, all right? I do not want to be responsible for you losing all of your money, all right? Place limits and don't, make sure you're financially stable, okay? I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to go eep good night. Crummy mimi crummy. That's one way to spell snoring. The only time I made money from gambling, I won the amount LOS cost and then list it. Only once I've had a profit, which was like $12. All lucky 32. Yeah. I mean, they also have these like advent calendars during Christmas where you have to use a coin to scrape off, and then if you get like 12 of the same icons, you win 1,000,000 kroner. And then like there's other ones like if you get 8 or something, then you get this amount and that amount. I won 25 kroner, which is like, I don't know, a few dollars. That's all I've ever won on one of those. But everyone buys them every year thinking, this is the year where we win 1,000,000, baby. It's literally like the lottery. Dedication calendar. Do you want to go calendar betting? Dude,
managed to get
the best
$100
kind
out of me. I actually think
now
they
actually
would have
good night.
preferred if I won a little bit first. When
Homie
betting
keeps
apps
saying
give out
good
these
night.
kind of introductory offers, it's not just so they can get a bunch of free money, although that's definitely part of it. They're trying to create a customer for life.
Bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets. $5 get $200 back. $250 up to $500.
Up to $2,000.
Online sportsbooks know that the best way to get people
see again.
$500.
It's like all of this risk-free first bet up to 500 back if you don't win. But then, they just very tiny text down here saying like, if you have a gambling problem, call this number. But just like very tiny text. But like the thing you should be focusing on is the fact that you could win big right now, all right? This is huge.
Online sportsbooks know that the best way to get people addicted to their product is to make that first big win as easy as possible. So they'll lure you in with an offer that seems too good to be true because all of that is pennies compared to what they're raking in from the people who are hooked. They give you free money to start with. They'll let you try again if your first bet doesn't work. They'll let you throw in one leg of a parlay that has essentially a 100% chance of hitting. They are desperate to make sure you have a good time. They want every time you see that app icon on your phone to think about the rush you felt when you turned $5 into $100, so you keep chasing that feeling forever. I just managed to outsmart them by being so unbelievably bad at sports betting that I never even came close to winning. But because I was curious to see how much online sports gambling has evolved since I tried it a couple years ago, and because I
it's
would
also
never
crazy.
leave a stone unturned in the pursuit
Ever
of
since that one time I've ever tried sports betting, which was, not with my money, and I wasn't the one. I was the one doing it, but I was being guided in what to do. It was such a long, complicated process that I'd never want to do that again. And again, since I know nothing about sports betting, you actually have to watch the sports and make sure you know what team you're betting on. if you're on, on your own and just betting on these fucking sports games. So I have no desire to do it ever again. Because it's not, at least with blackjack, you play a fun game and then you have the chance to win money, all right? And slot machines, they're bright and colorful and like you see the big numbers and it gets the monkey brain going, all right? I admit I like watching gambling streams because of that. But even still, like, I think it's old people that mostly get amused by slot machines because it's not that different from just, they get kind of boring when you're a gamer, all right? It's not as enticing to the eyes as playing League for 8 hours. And I don't even play League. What up, Creation Edits?
Of research, I decided for this video I should try it one more time. So I signed up for the only legal sports book in my home state of Florida, which I assume is named after famous internet sex symbol Hard Rock Nick.
Balls tugged on one by one.
Their introductory offer is that they'll give you another chance to bet if your first one doesn't win. On the surface, that almost sounds like free money, but it's not like you can bet once, lose, and then just take your money back. You still have to give them the money. You're probably just gonna lose twice for the price of one. But hey, check this out. I've already unlocked a 1x multiplier, which means for every dollar I earn, I walk away with $1.
I spent the next 12 minutes hard at work concocting the smartest and most guaranteed parlays the world has ever seen. With all my bets placed, I could finally sit back, relax, and enjoy a stress-free Sunday afternoon.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Why did I bet on Sam Darnold? Why did I bet on Kirk Cousins? Why did I take the over on Curtis Martin rushing yards? He retired in 2007.
The next few hours felt like a roller coaster, but in spite of it all, I was determined to come out on top.
Guess who has 2 thumbs and just won $9.52? This guy. My other thumb's holding the phone.
I was down, but now I'm up.
And since I only lost 5 other bets, I was just $61 from breaking even.
Now I know what you're thinking, Drew. How could you have possibly known the Bills were going to beat a team significantly worse than them? What are you, some kind of genius? No. I prefer savant. The truth is, none of this would have been possible without my good luck charm, Michael McCorkle Jones. You can look it up, that's his real name. Ever since I saw him hit the gritty at the Pro Bowl a few years ago, I knew I needed a metal poster of him to hang up on my wall. And thanks to today's sponsor, Displate, that's finally possible. Are you tired of waking up to your boring,
Dude, I love Drew's transition into ads.
You tried to hang up posters, but your hammer didn't come with instructions, so you don't know how to use it. Well, why don't you go ahead and throw that thing in the trash? Because you don't need one to hang up a display. Displates are high-quality metal posters that help you show off all your favorite interests, whether it's Elden Ring, Halo 3, or a Minion from the movie Minions. And the best part is you can hang them up in a matter of seconds without any tools and without putting any holes in your walls. Displate has over 2 million artworks to choose from, including tons of officially licensed designs from brands like Marvel, Star Wars, and Minions from the movie Minions. They've even got a product called Textra that brings your posters to life with tactile textures and 3D contours. Finally, a poster that's fun to touch. If you've been procrastinating your holiday shopping, there's never been a better time to snag a Displate. Not only are they great gifts for anyone in your life, but they're celebrating Black Friday with their biggest discount of the year. You can get up to 44% off your order by going to the link in the description, displate.com/DrewGooden, or by using my code DREW at checkout. Thank you so much to Displate for sponsoring today's video, which unfortunately will now continue. All right, so I've been using this app for a little over a week now, and even though I did win a few more bets, all I've really managed to do is turn my initial $100 into zero. It's all gone. I think they know they're on the verge of losing me for good because they're really ramping up the notifications. Most days I'm getting at least one every hour. They even offered
one every hour is crazy.
Bet, this time up to $500. They are so confident, based on everything I've shown them so far, that it seems they're willing to give me any amount of money because it doesn't matter, I'm just going to lose it all anyway. Even in my very limited time using this app, I can already see the traps they're setting for me, and I am falling for them. For some reason, I've done multiple parlays that are contingent upon something happening at the beginning of a game. They offer a bunch of bets that are based on first quarter stats, and I realized firsthand why they do this. Because that one leg can cook your entire parlay immediately. But at that point, you've already committed to betting on this game, and there's so much more game to bet on.
So you do. And before you know it, you're betting on Keyshawn George to make 5
That's where it spirals.
Why did I do that?
You know?
I don't even know who that is. Why did I think Jake Paul was gonna knock out Mike Tyson? That fight was never ending in a knockout. They punched each other like 4
Oh, that
times.
fight was a
Obviously,
nightmare.
They were just in it for the money, and I knew that going into it. I only did this bet because they boosted my odds, and they only boosted my odds because they knew it wasn't going to happen anyway. It's 2024. How am I still getting scammed by Jake Paul? And on the flip side, when I do win a bet, sometimes I'm not even that happy about it because I'm just like, I should have bet more. You start getting carried away doing the math. I turned $10 into $30, but I could have turned $100 into $300.
Yeah, that's why you'll never be satisfied with your wins. All right, same with blackjack. Like you finally get that blackjack, and you're like, oh, but I only bet $20. Should have bet $100. Might as well just go for one more little bet, you know? And then you lose that, so you have to win it back. And so it just becomes an endless fucking spiral. And everyone, you know, I know there's some of you guys watching this saying, no, I would just quit. All right, once I've won, I would just stop after that. Trust me, no, you wouldn't. Because once you've tried that high, you're gonna be, you know, you're gonna be trying to reach that high. All right? You're going to be trying to reach it again, which you'll never reach quite the high like you did the first time. But you keep trying. And so it spirals out of control.
1,000 into 3,000. Oh my God. It's infinite money. And I think that's one of the most dangerous
Like
things.
try to chase it.
about
That was the word I was looking for. You try to chase that high. You're just chasing that high, but you'll never get a high quite like the one you felt that first time you won. But you keep chasing it. Forever and ever and ever and ever and ever.
Is that sometimes it works. It's a hobby that technically could go well for you if you get very lucky and quit at the exact right time, which you won't, and the casinos are banking on the fact that you won't. Problem gamblers aren't just chasing
Exactly.
that feeling. They're chasing
My
this
thoughts
idea
exactly.
that maybe they'll win the lottery. A lot of gamblers can recognize that they have a problem, but see the problem as the way out of the problem.
I think the feeling at the time was, if you can just get lucky here somewhere, then potentially there's a way of making this all go away. I suppose the flip side to that as well, Aaron, is it was enabling me to just gamble as much as I wanted as well.
If I just have one good day, I can win it all back. Yes, I dug this huge hole for myself, but if I just keep digging, I might be able to find that guy.
Dude, that image is a meme, and I know it's making fun of the mindset, but I genuinely think about it every single time I'm gambling. It's having the exact opposite effect of what it's supposed to.
Diamond I've been desperately searching for. But the sad reality is, even if you find the diamond, you're just gonna feel so good doing it that you'll probably dive right back into the mines looking for another one.
The truth is, if I'd have had that big win, I would have just spent it anyway.
A lot of the higher-ups at these companies will refuse any responsibility for creating new gambling addicts over the past few years. They'll make the argument that they're just addicted to their phone, and our app just happens to be on it.
I don't believe that there is an addiction to mobile betting any more than there is an addiction to utilization of your phone for any other reason.
You don't think adding a layer of betting makes the phone more addictive than just tooling around Instagram?
No. There is problem gambling. It is a real problem. Whether it's gotten bigger or it's just become more noticeable because sports betting is legal, I think is an unknown.
Really?
Hey, they'd be gambling anyway. Whether it's on our app that sends 30 push notifications a day and is linked to their bank account, or only available in a state on the other side of the country, is totally irrelevant. And while there are obviously some people for whom that is true, you cannot deny the fact that making it so goddamn easy to bet anything at any time is leading to more people gambling who wouldn't have otherwise. You're dangling a piece of candy inches away from people's faces and then saying, hey, it's not our fault they grabbed it. They still would have grabbed it even if it was 2,000 miles away. Since this is all still relatively new in the US, maybe we'll see more legislation in the future to combat this avalanche. In some countries, they no longer allow celebrities to appear in sportsbook ads, or they've banned the ads from appearing during sporting events altogether. America is still in this Wild West infancy where all these apps are just scrambling to find a way onto your phone before regulations start kicking in.
but maybe in the future? Nah, I'm gonna be honest. It's hard to imagine that happening. I think it's too late to put the toothpaste back in the tube. The leagues are making too much money off it already. Of course they want to shove betting apps down everyone's throats. It gives people more of a reason to watch the games, especially bad ones. While most people would turn off a 20-point blowout in the fourth quarter, you're still glued to the screen because you need CeeDee Lamb to get 12 more yards for your parlay to hit. They've figured out a way to make every moment matter, even if it doesn't.
You want to make every game interesting? Step one, open the BetMGM Sportsbook. You know what to do.
It's not just sports, though. It seems like these days you can gamble on absolutely anything. You can bet on celebrity breakups. You can bet on which White Lotus character will return in Season 3. You can bet on the presidential election. And oh my God, so many people did.
I almost feel like more people bet on the election than actually voted. For instance, people from outside of the U.S. could also just bet on it. And they can't even vote. But they still bet on the election.
Millions of dollars were tied up in political bets this year. And if that's not indicative of a nationwide gambling epidemic, I don't know what is. But I'll admit, I'm a little conflicted about this. Because on one hand, gamifying every aspect of our lives only gives more power to those with influence. It creates a financial incentive for spreading deliberate misinformation. It can make you question the motive behind everything you see and hear. But on the other hand, XQC lost $700,000 betting on the election, and that's really funny. If you don't know who...
You know what? Actually, I take back what I said on the whole thing about slot machines and gaming earlier. You know, XQC. It's pretty much become a part of who he is now. It's just being a fucking gambling addict with how much he does it on stream.
He's a streamer who, at least in every clip I've seen of him, seems to be speaking a language he invented and no one else can understand. He's also one of the many streamers who've massively increased their wealth over the past few years by taking sponsorships from offshore crypto-based online casinos, helping them and the website they stream it on explode in popularity. At almost any point of any day, you can go to the slots tab on kick.com and see someone who is zonked out of their mind, eyes bloodshot red, 12 hours into non-stop slot spins, desperately trying to win back all the money they've lost so far, oftentimes in a situation so dire that even the chat, with no personal stakes involved and only there for entertainment, is begging them to stop. But they can't. They're on autopilot. Every loss is money that needs to be won back, and every win is...
Literally, there was a Christmas party, college, and after a few hours, the party was just dead. Like, it was so boring and dead that I was just like, I don't really want to be here. So I just went up on the second floor of the campus. Nobody was there, so I just sat on the couch, chilled, and I saw Trainwrecks was live gambling, and there is just something so entertaining about watching somebody just lose 100K on fucking slots. I have a monkey brain, and I like seeing the slots and the big numbers. And it's so fucking funny to watch Trainwrecks ruin his life. His name is literally Trainwrecks for a reason. It's very fitting.
Money to gamble with. I randomly opened this guy's stream one day and watched in real time as he won almost $100,000 and then say this.
95K, that's fucking huge. We're a tenth of the way back.
A tenth? This dude was down $1 million on Big Bass Bash? Now, to most people watching, it's pretty easy to say, hey man, you should probably quit while you're ahead. No, 100,000 isn't a million, but it's a lot more than zero. The problem is someone in this state of mind isn't capable of seeing it that way. He's not even in Thursday afternoon with the rest of us. He's still on the tail end of Wednesday night. So the rational part of his brain, too subdued to muster anything more than a mumble,
he is suited out of his mind.
Of the better leave.
They all scream stream, of course you should, but it falls on deaf ears. He's yet to stop spamming spins for even a second. This man is no longer in control of his actions. He's a zombie, relegated to the passenger seat of his own mind as it careens towards the conclusion everyone watching knows is inevitable. But there's nothing he can do to stop the momentum.
I have to quit. At a certain point, I have to give up. At a certain point, I gotta give up. Oh my god. At a certain point, I gotta give up. Dude, that dog demolished the balance. Oh my god. That's crazy. Lost over $1 million today.
$1 million today!
All he can do now is sit in the reality of what just happened.
Dude.
Come to terms with the fact that despite his and everyone else's better judgment, he got doghoused.
Doghouse is what did it. Dude, doghouse is what defeated me. I got doghouse. I got doghouse. I got a full doghouse. Full doghouse, dude. Full doghouse. Full fucking doghouse, dude. Dude. I got doghouse.
Did I just watch this guy ruin his life?
I don't know, actually. The thing is, it's hard to take streams like this at face value. There's a very well-documented history of streamers on Kick high-stakes gambling with money that was given to them by the website they're playing on. So not only are the stakes not high, but it's technically not even gambling. It's just promotion. The entire goal of these streams is just to make the people watching them think they too can go win life-changing money on asscoin.com. So maybe this is all bullshit. Maybe the only real thing about these streams are the holes he punched into the wall behind him. Maybe he'll miraculously be back in a couple days with a suspiciously large balance after seeming to lose everything. But clips like this are just the flip side of an online ecosystem currently doing everything it can to convince impressionable teenagers scrolling through TikTok and YouTube shorts that gambling is awesome, actually, and you gotta start doing it.
Yes, 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 yes. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Bang, 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 bang.
That's a great feeling, man.
Was that Nick Merckx?
Accuse these websites of rigging the odds in favor of the streamers so it's easier for them to farm these clips. And as far as I'm aware, there's no proof of that. I think the misrepresentation of odds here is simply due to the fact that these websites can just keep depositing money into their accounts whenever they lose, giving them unlimited funds to play with.
Unless Rubet's gonna give me free money, I think that's like actually it. We really just need Howie to give us a ton of free money.
If you're given infinite money, you can just keep betting until you hit a jackpot. For them, there's no such thing as rock bottom, a philosophy that very much does not translate to real life. In real life, you can hit rock bottom, and when you do, there's no texting Howie to get yourself out of it. What's especially concerning about these kinds of streams is that while sports betting apps are at least targeting mostly grown men, the majority audience for a lot of these streamers are teenagers and young adults. People whose brains have not finished developing yet. People who would have a harder time distinguishing between entertainment and real life and have less of an ability to evaluate risk compared to people much older than them. It is statistically proven that people who are exposed to gambling at a young age are more likely to develop problems with it later in life. So maybe don't do this. Is that too much to ask?
Now, there are a few different types of gambling streamers. There are the ones like Aiden Ross, who have been very transparent about the fact that money is the only thing that matters to them, and there's no line they would be unwilling to cross in pursuit of it. Then there's streamers like Steve Will Do It, who admitted in an interview with CoffeeZilla that the only reason he started taking these sponsorships was because he used to have a gambling problem, and it was a way for him to continue to gamble without having to use his own money. In other words, he knows from personal experience the harm a gambling addiction can cause, but he has no problem promoting that to other people as long as it's not his money they're losing. But
It's crazy. We're more mad at this guy because, you know, Aiden Ross, yeah, he's a fucking dumbass. Everybody knows that. And of course he's going to promote gambling and, you know, of course he's going to do a lot of sponsored gambling and shit like that. This guy knows firsthand what it's like to have a gambling addiction. He's just like, let's just promote that shit. Not play with my own money, so who cares?
And there's also plenty of streamers that don't seem to think they're doing anything wrong. They put their head in the sand and make excuses because the money's too good for them to turn down. Take Nick Merckx, for example. Nick gets pretty defensive when people question the fact that he spends 1 week out of every month spinning slots on kick.com. Oh yeah, man, sorry. Forgot a bunch of children watch my streams. Like, dude, you spent the past 6 years streaming Fortnite and Call of Duty. If you don't think the majority of your audience is young men, I don't know what to tell you. And don't even get me started on Drake. I know a large portion of his audience is underage because those are the people he's trying to fuck.
So while obviously these websites who use decentralized currency and are based out of a small island country with laughably loose gambling restrictions in order to skirt federal regulations are mostly to blame for the damage they've caused, these celebrities and streamers who've helped popularize
Dude,
them
it's crazy.
are
Drake is fucking, he has so much money. Okay, he's not like a billionaire, but he is unfathomably rich. Why would he need to gamble? The only reason is because of greed. It's literally just out of pure greed that he's just like, I'm already rich, but a few more dollars wouldn't hurt.
Very much complicit. When you build an audience online, whether you like it or not, there is a parasocial element to it. There are people in your fan base who look up to you and trust you, and every time you sell something to them, you are leveraging that parasocial relationship in order to financially benefit. And I'm not gonna act like I'm perfect. I sell merch, I have sponsors, I just did an ad read like 3 minutes ago. But my God, I feel like the bare minimum with the sponsorship is, does this product actively hurt the people that use it? Yes? Then I'm not gonna do that. I get that it can sting to turn down a lot of money, and if the numbers people have floated around are accurate, it is a stupid amount of money. But for some of these people who could already live 10 full lifetimes without ever having to worry about bills ever again, when is it enough? It's just crazy to me. It's like, thank you to everyone who supports what I do. You've given me my dream job, this life of luxury I'm so lucky to have. And in return, I give to you a crippling addiction. Sorry, I wanted to buy a house in Mexico.
We got another place because you can't do it in America. You have to go somewhere else. So we went somewhere else. And we got another place.
Call me dramatic, but I'm a little confused.
Look at everybody in the chat. W! I'm already fucking rich. But let's get some more money so I can buy a house in Mexico. Let's go! Second place, W!
Call me dramatic, but I'm a little concerned where this is all headed. People like to talk about iPad babies who are burning all their dopamine receptors before they even reach preschool. But what is a slot machine if not just a giant iPad? Scientifically engineered to be as mesmerizing as possible so you don't even realize
See, again,
what
old
you're
people.
letting it take from you.
It's just old people.
And fast spins at $50 a spin. Look at that $194,000 grand. That thing is due. Oh. Well, that's $1,000.
Gambling can be addictive enough on its own even before you add in all this social.
Actually, in London, when I was there just a couple of weeks ago, there was actually this one pub close to the hotel we lived at. And it was a really nice pub. And they just had one slot machine there. Just this one slot machine in the corner. And it was mesmerizing, man. It was already such a nice, cozy pub. And then over there in the corner, ooh, it was just mesmerizing. Especially since the drinks were so fucking expensive. Jesus Christ. And I wasn't hungry at the time, so I didn't order anything. But I was there with Viggy. I just ordered a couple of drinks. But he was hungry, so he actually ordered food. He ordered like a steak sandwich. And it was so mid. I had a bite of it. And the steak was cold. Alright? And the sandwich bread was just like, you know, cheap white toast bread from the grocery store, and it wasn't even toasted. They didn't even put an effort to toast it. It was just soft and fluffy. And the steak was cold. The sauce wasn't great either. And they charged you £28 for that shit. No, motherfucker. Give him a proper steak sandwich, at least. Because a different pub we went to, called the Green Man, which is also a fire pub, you know, that the steak there cost the same, but at least it was a good fucking steak. And you had good fries on the side. This one was just so mid.
Pressure. The transition from
giant
casual
scam.
gambler to
So at that point, it's very tempting to be like, I wasted my money. Might as well win it back on that slot machine. That's probably why they have it in there. It's genius. It's genius marketing. It really is.
addict can happen so gradually, a lot of people don't even realize it's happened to them until it's too late. And when everyone around you, from celebrities in commercials to all your favorite streamers, are just making it seem like it's no big deal, it's fun, everybody does it, can you truly recognize the seriousness of what you're getting yourself into? I think all we can really do for the time being is try to fight back against the normalization of gambling. So what do you say we all get together and call a timeout? What's that? They already tried that for hate.
We need to stop it.
So let's take this moment
To change the momentum.
and call a timeout
On hate. Together. Together.
And it's not working, even though they got Shaq. Well, that's not good. That's kind of the only idea I had. Gambling is not new. For as long as there's been man, there's been the primal desire to bet it all on red. But what is new is the way
Actually, there's a higher chance of winning if you bet on black. I bet on black in London and I won on that.
technology has evolved to prey on these urges in the most efficient and targeted ways possible. Using AI to send push notifications at the precise moment they know they're most likely to be open. Using a constantly evolving algorithm to offer bets that are so time sensitive you have to commit to it before you even have a chance to think about it. These apps didn't invent gambling addiction, they've just made it more accessible. You combine all of that with a system in which most people aren't paid nearly enough money for the amount of work that they do and might see gambling as one of the only ways out of that situation, only to end up exacerbating their problems, and you end up with the unmitigated economic disaster we're in now. Forgive me for using the C word, but we've stumbled into this stage of capitalism where every dollar must be profited by any means necessary, and foregoing any chance to do so would simply be seen as a missed opportunity. Advertisements in between the game? Not enough. Now they're a part of the game. A mini fridge in the hotel that I can store my leftovers in? No, we should be filling every square inch of that thing with $12 Coke cans that'll automatically charge your credit card even if you're
Fiji water. Fiji's the best water. I'm
I'm
ashamed to admit I spent way too much money in London on Fiji because it's goated water.
Music and no call.
People say they can't taste the difference between waters. Lies. Try Fiji if you haven't already. It is goated.
Call to action? You wish, bozo. Please go listen to the song I made with my friend Sam. I wrote the guitar for it, and I think it's pretty good. Thanks for watching.
Dude. Drew is just as good as advertising as the casinos. He's dangerous. I promise you won't lose any money. Drew, you're fucking genius, man. You're gonna get me to gamble now. Jesus Christ. So in conclusion, chat. Oh my God, my green screen got all. In conclusion, chat. Don't gamble. Moral of the story: just don't gamble unless you win. In which case, do gamble. But please also put limits. Genuinely, do put limits. I don't want to be responsible for any of you losing all your money. Please don't. So, don't gamble unless you win.
1, 2,
You know.
3, and 4. Count what you have now. Don't count what you don't have.